Take a look at these two sets of teeth. At first glance, it seems obvious. One person clearly takes great care of their teeth. Regular dental checkups, brushing twice a day, flossing, avoiding sugar, doing everything by the book. The other one, well, they haven't seen a dentist in years. They often forget to brush, they drink sugary sodas daily, and probably think flossing is optional. Pretty easy to guess who's who, right? But what if I told you the person on the left with the perfectly healthy Hollywood white smile is the one who hasn't been to a dentist in nearly a decade, while the person on the right with the painful, inflamed gums and decaying teeth, they're the ones who follow all the rules: regular checkups, expensive toothpaste, flossing every day, and little to no sugar in their diet. Hard to believe, right? But as you're about to see, there's a hidden reason behind it, one that almost nobody's talking about, and one the dental industry doesn't want you to find out about. And if you're dealing with cavities, gingivitis, painful swollen gums, yellowing sensitive teeth, chronic bad breath, or even persistent clogged sinuses, then you're going to want to pay very close attention, because I'm about to reveal the real cause behind your dental problems, and more importantly, how you can finally stop the damage and start rebuilding your teeth and gums from the inside out. You see, having a bright smile with fresh breath, healthy gums, and strong teeth has almost nothing to do with how often you brush, how old your teeth are, your genetics, or even how much sugar you eat. And craziest of all, it has nothing to do with how often you go to the dentist. You might be shocked to find out that despite all the advancements in modern dentistry here in the United States, we still rank among the worst for oral health in the developed world. In fact, third world nations like Nigeria and Afghanistan, with far less access to modern dental care, report up to 10 times fewer cases of tooth decay and periodontal disease compared to the US. How is that even possible? How can we have cutting-edge dentistry and advanced medicine, yet still fall so far behind when it comes to something as basic as keeping our teeth and gums healthy? Well, the truth is, your teeth aren't the real problem at all. It's something else entirely. It's something you're unknowingly exposed to almost every single day, something hidden in the medicine you take, the food you eat, and the water you drink that you've been led to believe is safe and even healthy. But in reality, it's actually setting off a silent chain reaction in your mouth, silently destroying your teeth from the inside out. And if you don't act now, these problems won't just stay in your mouth, they'll spiral into something far worse. At first, you might notice your sinuses clogging and your breath turning heads for all the wrong reasons. Then your gums begin to recede, pulling away from your teeth and creating deep pockets where harmful bacteria multiply like wildfire. The infection spreads deeper and deeper until it reaches the roots and nerves, triggering sharp, constant pain and extreme sensitivity. Your gums swell, turn red, and bleed more and more often. First when you brush, then when you eat, and even when you talk. Eventually, the damage becomes irreversible. Your gums erode, your teeth loosen, and one by one they start to fall out. But it doesn't end there. This deadly bacteria can now enter your bloodstream through the exposed roots, traveling straight to your heart, brain, and lungs, increasing your risk of heart disease, brain fog, and chronic inflammation. And what's left behind? A shattered smile, unbearable pain, and a dental bill so expensive that you may need to take out a second mortgage to cover the cost. Not your idea of a good time, right? Now, you're probably wondering, if it's not sugar, what could possibly be causing so much damage to your teeth and gums? And more importantly, why hasn't anyone told you about it? Well, that's exactly what I'm about to reveal. I'm going to show you the hidden culprit that's been silently destroying your oral health for years, and the simple, painless, affordable fix you can start using today, right from home, to stop it from wreaking any more havoc on your teeth and gums. With this breakthrough solution, you'll be able to rebuild healthy gums, no more bleeding or irritation, restore damaged or loose teeth and bring them back to a bright, natural white color, eliminate bad breath at the source, stop cavities before they start, and even clear out your sinuses and breathe easier than you have in years. Now I know you may be a bit skeptical. I'm sure you've heard promises like this before, and maybe have even tried some of these so-called solutions. Stuff like deep dental cleanings, antibiotics, fillings, gum grafts, or even root canals. Or maybe you've had dental surgery to help strengthen your gums or implants. Procedures like this are painful, expensive, and can even put you at risk of infection. Not to mention, they often don't work in the long run. Implants typically do not last, and that's if your jawbone structure can even support them in the first place. And getting your insurance to cover or replace your damaged implants, forget about it. That's about as likely as winning the lottery, and if by chance you do get them, did you know there's a 69% chance they will cause a serious infection within 10 years? You see, these so-called traditional solutions aren't just expensive. They're a trap, a cycle of risky procedures, painful treatments, and mounting bills that never seem to end. But the worst part? They don't address the real cause of your problems. They just mask the symptoms like slapping a Band-Aid over a ticking time bomb. But thanks to a breakthrough backed by Harvard and other major institutions, there's now a way to actually rebuild gums and teeth from the inside out. It's already helped over 49,242 people around the world heal their damaged gums, restore their teeth, and reclaim their confidence, energy, and happiness they thought they had lost forever. And I'm positive it can help you too, just like it did for Deborah from Orlando, Florida. I did everything right, brushed twice a day, flossed religiously, even cut out sugar. But no matter what I did, my gums were always inflamed, tender, and bleeding, and it felt like cavities were appearing out of nowhere. I was frustrated and honestly starting to lose hope. But after discovering Dr. Smith's method, it's like I have a brand new mouth. My gums feel healthy, my teeth are strong, and for the first time in years, I'm not in constant pain. All I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Jeremy from Sacramento, California. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first. After all, my dentist never suggested anything like this. But once Dr. Smith explained how everything worked, I knew I had to try it. And here I am 3 months later with a smile that I'm not afraid to show off. My gums no longer bleed at the slightest touch. The morning breath that lasted throughout the entire day entirely gone. And the best part? No more loose teeth. And if you have even the slightest doubt, know this. The science behind this breakthrough is backed by dozens of clinical trials and peer-reviewed studies from world-renowned institutions, including Harvard, Oxford, and New York University. And this miracle dental breakthrough has been featured in respected journals like Scientific Advances and Biomed Central. Even the US government's own research programs, including the National Toxicology Program and the FDA, have acknowledged the powerful implications of this discovery. Just imagine for a moment, no more feeling embarrassed by your teeth every time you open your mouth to speak or smile. No more covering your mouth when you laugh or pulling away when your coworkers, friends, or your family get too close because you're afraid they'll catch a whiff of your bad breath. No more throbbing, swollen gums that bleed at the slightest touch. No more teeth so sensitive, cracked, and decayed that you flinch in pain when you eat or drink. No more yellow stains, deep cavities, or the constant fear that your loosening teeth may eventually fall out. No more painful visits to the dentist, expensive treatments, and the never-ending, money-draining cycle of, we need to schedule your next appointment. Because the truth is, it doesn't have to be this way anymore. You can put an end to the suffering, the pain, and the embarrassment starting today. You could wake up with a clean, fresh mouth, no bleeding gums, no sour metallic taste, no embarrassment. You look in the mirror and you see a healthy, white smile staring back at you. Your gums feel firm, your teeth feel rock solid. And for the first time in years, the pain is gone. No more stabbing, throbbing, or flinching every time you eat or speak. You brush your teeth and there's no blood in the sink. You sip an ice-cold drink without wincing. You chew freely, confidently on both sides of your mouth. Your breath, naturally fresh. No more masking it with mints, sprays, or frantic swigs of mouthwash. The anxiety that used to creep in before every conversation, wondering if they'd notice your breath, it's gone. As the changes become real, you take a deep breath and finally exhale with relief. Even your sinuses feel clearer. Your throat isn't coated and scratchy anymore. You're breathing better and you're sleeping better and you're smiling without hesitation. You walk into every room and every conversation with rock-solid confidence because when your smile is strong, you are too. And the best part is, no more expensive, agony-filled dentist visits. So if you're finally ready to live with a clean, confident smile, free from the pain of swollen gums and the embarrassment of bad breath or decaying teeth, then stay with me because what I'm about to share could truly change your life. I'm about to reveal something you probably do every single day that's been quietly destroying your teeth and gums from the inside out. It's not sugar or poor brushing habits. In fact, it's something most people think is harmless, even healthy, but it's the real reason behind over 95% of dental problems like gum, inflammation, bad breath, cavities, clogged sinuses, and even brain fog. I'll even show you a simple test you can do at home right now to see if this toxic compound is already affecting your mouth. And honestly, I'd be shocked if it hasn't. And in just a moment, I'm going to reveal the groundbreaking solution to all of your dental problems, developed by an eccentric dentist who spent over 20 years obsessively studying the real root cause of tooth decay, gum disease, and bad breath, because he was tired of watching patients go through painful, expensive treatments that never actually solved the problem. What he discovered led him to create something unlike anything in modern dentistry, a soft chew that looks and tastes like candy, but melts in your mouth and releases powerful ingredients that begin a scientifically proven restoration of your teeth and gums and eliminates your problems at the source. I'll also reveal the real reason why you haven't heard about this, especially from your dentist, and why this simple, inexpensive fix has been quietly buried by the same industry that profits from keeping you in the chair year after year. So if you can, set aside what you're doing and watch this to the very end. This video may not be online for much longer because what I'm about to share has already upset some very powerful people who stand to lose billions if this gets out. And in the next few moments, you'll understand exactly why. Now, you may be wondering, who am I to make these bold claims? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Dan Smith. I'm a retired dentist and proud former owner of a thriving dental practice that I ran for over 20 years. I absolutely loved being a dentist and I cared deeply for my patients. Many of them became close friends and we still keep in touch to this day. My passion for dentistry started early in life, but it was born from something tragic. But as painful as that experience was, it set me on a path I never could have imagined. It ultimately led me to discover a breakthrough that completely transformed my understanding of dentistry. Instead of just patching up symptoms like filling cavities or treating infections temporarily, this discovery allowed me to help over 49,242 people around the world truly rebuild their gums and teeth from the inside out, fixing the root cause of their dental problems once and for all. You see, when I was just 8 years old, my father went in for what was supposed to be a routine dental procedure. He had always struggled with dental issues, cavities, sensitive teeth, swollen gums, things that seemed manageable at the time but were a constant source of discomfort for him. So when my mom told me that my dad had to go back to the dentist for another procedure called a root canal, I didn't really think much of it since he went to the dentist pretty often. And for those who don't know, a root canal is typically performed when a tooth becomes severely infected. It's meant to save the tooth and prevent the infection from spreading. But in my dad's case, something went horribly wrong. In the days following the procedure, he started feeling extremely ill. His doctor had him rushed to the hospital after seeing him, but things quickly took a turn for the worse. He slipped into a coma, and just 1 week later, he was gone. The cause? The bacteria from his infected tooth had spread, traveling from his mouth to his brain. This led to a condition called encephalitis, a dangerous swelling of the brain. It's rare, but when it happens, it's deadly, carrying a 10 to 40% chance of fatality. And tragically, my dad was one of the unlucky ones who didn't survive. Needless to say, I was devastated. My dad was my hero, and losing him that way left a mark on me that I'll never forget. Yes, cases like his where people actually die are rare, but they do happen. There are real risks with any kind of dental procedure, from infections, complications, even malpractice, and it only reinforced one thing for me. The best way to protect yourself is to avoid dental issues in the first place. That's what drove me to become completely obsessed with dentistry. Back then, there was no internet, so I spent hours at the library poring over every book I could find about teeth, gums, and oral health. And I decided to promise myself, one day I'd become a dentist and I'd dedicate my career to helping people like my dad, who struggled with chronic dental problems. It was my way of honoring him and making sure that no one else had to suffer the way he did. By the time I was a teenager, I could name every cranial nerve involved in a toothache. I knew the pros and cons of amalgam versus composite fillings, and I even taught myself how to read x-rays. I'd memorized entire tooth eruption charts and could explain the stages of periodontal disease better than some dental assistants. Dentistry wasn't just a curiosity, it was my obsession, my escape, and my mission. I got admitted to dental school and eventually graduated with honors. From there, I opened up my own dental practice and it quickly grew into a thriving clinic. I loved what I did, and I truly felt like I was helping make a difference in people's lives. I still remember the day that everything changed like it was yesterday. It started off like any other day. We had a pretty busy schedule with more than a dozen patients on the books for the day. I had been contacted by a dentist who was facing a difficult case and was asking for some help. With his patient's permission, he contacted me to discuss the situation and told me the entire story. One patient named Steve was what I kind of labeled as a problem patient. You see, they butted heads on almost every topic. He loved to question everything the dentist did to the point where it felt like he was questioning their judgment and seemed to be a bit of a know-it-all. However, he had a special relationship with my other patient. Samantha had been coming to see him for years, and when she lost her job and with it her dental insurance, he agreed to keep seeing her for free until she could get back on her feet. He went on to explain that for years Samantha had what most dentists would consider clinically sound oral health. Her gingival margins were tight and uniform, meaning her gums hugged her teeth perfectly with no signs of recession. Her periodontal pockets measured within the healthy range, no inflammation, no bleeding. Her enamel was smooth and intact, and her plaque levels were minimal with no signs of demineralization or early decay. In plain English, her teeth were strong, her gums were healthy, and everything looked exactly as it should. She brushed regularly, flossed daily, and followed every instruction I gave her to the letter. But then something changed. At first, he told me he noticed a couple of small cavities, nothing unusual. But over the next few months, things began to deteriorate rapidly. Her gums, once firm and healthy, became red, swollen, and tender to the touch. New cavities began forming between her teeth. She even needed a root canal, something I never expected to recommend for her. And the strangest part? She was doing everything right. Still brushing and flossing daily, still avoiding sugary foods, still showing up for every checkup just like she always had. But her oral health kept getting worse, and it wasn't just her mouth. She started complaining of chronic fatigue, clogged sinuses, and even persistent bad breath, something she had never struggled with before. He was baffled. Nothing in her habits explained this sudden severe decline. It felt like something deeper was going on, something we couldn't see on the surface. She burst into his examination room looking upset and burst into tears. "I don't get it, Dr. Smith," she said. "I'm doing everything you told me to do, and my mouth just keeps getting worse." That moment hit him hard because she was right. Everything looked perfect on the surface until it wasn't. He told me that he took a closer look at her chart and the images he'd collected over the last 6 months, and the progression was alarming. In clinical terms, her periodontal attachment was degrading. The gingival epithelium, which acts as a skin-like seal between the gums and teeth, was thinning. He was seeing signs of accelerated demineralization in her enamel, almost like her teeth were being stripped of the minerals that had kept them strong. Naturally, he did everything I've been trained to do, starting with deep cleanings, scaling and root planing to remove the bacteria under the gum line. He prescribed a round of antibiotics to knock out any lingering infection. And when that wasn't enough, he referred her for gum graft surgery to reinforce the areas where her tissue was starting to pull away. It was textbook treatment. But being in the industry for as long as I have, I've seen cases like Samantha's far too often. Sometimes all you can do is try and manage the symptoms as they come, knowing deep down you're not addressing the real issue. And what many people don't realize is that severe dental problems don't just affect your mouth, they impact your entire life. She had been suffering from paralyzing panic attacks, worrying that her loose teeth would fall out while she was eating something and she'd end up choking on it, or even worse, that it happened to her in her sleep. This takes a serious toll on your emotional well-being. Dr. Smith reassured Samantha he'd do everything he could, that he'd figure it out one way or another. But deep down, he felt helpless. Her case was slipping beyond anything traditional dentistry could fix, and that feeling stayed with him as he walked into his next appointment. He went on to talk about his next patient, Steve. Now, Steve was the complete opposite of Samantha in just about every way. Where Samantha was kind and cooperative and eager to follow every recommendation, Steve was, well, let's just say he had no shortage of opinions about how he should do his job and even live his life. It was no surprise when he told him his last dentist refused to keep treating him. Over the past 5 years of having him as a patient, he'd gotten to know him fairly well. And it's safe to say they pretty much didn't agree on anything: sports, religion, politics, TV shows, even medicine. Another thing that bothered him was that it seemed like he had a natural cure or herbal supplement for everything, and traditional medicine had little to no value for him. Dr. Smith, of course, was not trained that way and believed in medicine and what he'd been taught going to school for all of those years. But what really set him apart from Samantha was his smile. Steve had perfectly healthy gums and one of the brightest, healthiest set of natural teeth I had ever seen. White, straight, no visible plaque, no signs of decay, the kind of smile you'd expect from a A-list Hollywood actor. Except these weren't veneers, and they weren't implants. They were 100% his own teeth. And here's the kicker: he hadn't seen a dentist in years. Not since his last one let him go years ago, and he decided to start coming to his clinic for some reason. No cleanings, no checkups, no so-called preventative treatments, yet somehow his mouth was in perfect condition. So this time, when he suggested a fluoride treatment to help preserve his nice teeth, he didn't want any part of it. "That stuff is toxic, Dr. Smith," he said, shaking his head. "I honestly don't know why dentists still use it in this day and age." And that's how most of our appointments went. Steve always had some new theory, some tinfoil hat explanation that clashed with everything I was taught in dental school. Usually he'd let it roll off his back, but this time he told me he was irritated. He wasn't just disagreeing, he was questioning the entire profession. He was the guy who skipped cleanings for years. Stevie said, "That's ridiculous. Where did you get such a crazy idea? Fluoride has been used to help prevent tooth decay for as long as I can remember." Then he brought up how there's a warning label on toothpaste containing fluoride saying to contact poison control if you swallow any. So then he said, almost anything is harmful in large amounts. Even baby aspirin has a warning label. Well, why are they adding it to the water if it says to call poison control if you take too much of it on a toothpaste label? That stuff is more toxic than lead. "Steve, it's safe. Trust me. With all due respect, Dr. Smith," he said. "Harvard published a paper showing fluoride lowers children's IQ." Then he added, "Do you even know the real reason they started putting fluoride in the water?" "Steve, you've been watching too many conspiracy videos," he said, trying not to roll my eyes. "Tell you what," he replied, "read it for yourself when you get a chance. And if I'm right, my next visit's on the house." "Fine," he said, "you've got yourself a deal." He got up, still smiling as he grabbed his coat. "See you in 6 months, Steve, and don't forget your credit card," he joked as he walked out. Little did I know the conversation he had had with Steve would set in motion the greatest discovery of my entire career and give me a way to finally help people end their dental problems for good. As I headed home for the long holiday weekend, I couldn't stop thinking about this case because I desperately wanted to help. I was frustrated. For once, I didn't have any answers. He tried everything I knew I could have thought of already. But Samantha's condition was only getting worse, and deep down I feared it was only a matter of time before the infection spread further, and she'd lose her teeth permanently. My wife had taken my daughter to go visit her family for the weekend, which meant I had the house to myself, something that rarely happened. I sat down at my computer and started casually browsing, reading emails, checking headlines, scrolling through a few articles, and that's when it hit me. Steve. Our conversation from earlier that day came rushing back, especially what he said about fluoride lowering children's IQ. I figured, what the hell, I'll look into it. I searched for the study Steve mentioned about fluoride lowering children's IQ, and to my surprise, there it was, a real paper published by Harvard University. A meta-analysis of 27 studies showing that children exposed to higher levels of fluoride had significantly lower IQs compared to those with lower exposure. I just stared at the screen, stunned. Steve wasn't quoting a conspiracy blog, he was quoting Harvard. Curious and now slightly disturbed, I kept digging. That's when I found out that the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, officially classifies industrial fluoride as hazardous waste. This is a far cry from what I was taught, that fluoride was a mineral no different than calcium. Other agencies actually listed it as a drug. That's strange, I thought. Last time I checked, you had to ask a person's permission before you administered a drug to them. Well, I thought to myself, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this, but that's when I came across something even more shocking. When you administer drugs to people, you need to know how much you're administering to them, and you obviously need to make sure that it's pharmaceutical grade. But I discovered the fluoride they're adding to our water not only was oftentimes leftover waste from fertilizer and US aluminum manufacturing, but according to NPR and WCVB, sometimes imported directly from China. Not clean, not purified, and definitely not pharmaceutical grade. And to make matters worse, the amount they added to the water supply is oftentimes far greater than what they're supposed to add, which can lead to toxic fluoride poisoning or dental fluorosis. I couldn't wrap my mind around what I was discovering, so I kept digging. Then I came across a study published in Microbiome Journal, a respected peer-reviewed scientific journal, and what it revealed made my jaw nearly hit the ground. The researchers found that fluoride exposure significantly altered the gut microbiome. Fluoride shifted that delicate balance, suppressing beneficial bacteria while letting harmful microbes thrive. You see, in case you're not familiar with microbiomes or the concept of good and bad bacteria and why it's important to your oral health, let me explain. A microbiome is simply the collection of all the different types of bacteria, whether it's in your gut microbiome, or your mouth, your oral microbiome. And there are different types of bacteria. Some are good and some are bad. In your mouth, the bad bacteria produces acid, which destroys enamel, triggers gum inflammation, causes cavities, infections, and also bad breath. The good bacteria helps neutralize acids before they can damage your teeth, protects the enamel, supports gum health, and keeps your breath fresh. So I started to wonder, if fluoride can disrupt the gut microbiome, could it also be damaging the oral microbiome, the first line of defense for your teeth and gums? Turns out, it can, and it does. After all, your mouth and gut are directly connected, a continuous system that starts at your lips and runs all the way through your body. And if that balance is thrown off in one, the other automatically suffers too. Think of your mouth like the front door to your house. If the door is left wide open and dirt, bacteria, and toxins start piling up right at the entrance, it's only a matter of time before they make their way into the rest of your home and start spreading everywhere. Every time you inhale and your oral biome is overrun with bad bacteria, you're ingesting them directly into your lungs and gut. And it goes both ways. If your gut microbiome is overrun with bad bacteria, that imbalance can travel upstream, affecting your mouth every time you exhale. That bad bacteria doesn't just stay in your digestive system. It moves through your breath, your saliva, your gums, and even into your sinuses and bloodstream. So when fluoride enters your system and begins disrupting your gut, it's also silently weakening your mouth's natural defenses. The damage doesn't just stop at the stomach. Fluoride destroys the beneficial bacteria, the ones that protect your enamel, reduce inflammation, and keep cavity-causing microbes in check. And in that vacuum, it gives the acid-producing, gum-wrecking, tooth-decaying bacteria the upper hand. Eventually, the bad bacteria works itself into the gums and the bloodstream and makes their way to the inside of your teeth as well, attacking your teeth from the inside out. And the problems don't end with just dental issues. More and more research is showing that poor oral flora is linked to serious health conditions, from IBS to cardiovascular disease to even anxiety and depression. One recent study even confirmed that obesity may begin with imbalanced oral bacteria. That's when it hit me. Fluoride doesn't treat the problem, it's been fueling their dental issues. For years, I was just blindly following dental guidelines, telling people fluoride would save their teeth, while it was slowly, silently destroying the very bacteria their mouths needed to stay healthy. The fluoride wasn't protecting them, it was weakening them. I was always taught that fluoride strengthens enamel and helps prevent cavities, not that it's classified as a toxic waste by the EPA. And while the enamel claim is partially true, what no one talks about is how it disrupts your gut microbiome, which directly impacts your oral microbiome, wiping out the good bacteria that keep your teeth and gums healthy. And if you're thinking, well, I don't drink tap water or use fluoride toothpaste, it doesn't matter. Fluoride is in almost every beverage you drink. It's used to wash most food, boiling doesn't remove it, and your skin absorbs it when you shower or swim. If your teeth aren't naturally bright white, if you get headaches, bloating, IBS, drool in your sleep, or your teeth feel rough to the touch, there's a good chance fluoride has already begun damaging your oral biome, and it will only get worse over time. At this point, my research was turning everything I thought I knew upside down. And I have to admit, Steve was right. This stuff is more toxic than lead. And to make matters worse, fluoride isn't the only toxin in our water. This is what's carrying water into your home. Even if you don't drink it, you're still showering in it, cooking with it, and washing your food in it. There are over 9 million lead-containing pipes still in use across the US, and the EPA estimates it will take more than $600 billion just to modernize our water system. Pharmaceutical drugs, bacteria, parasites, and hazardous chemicals all flowing straight into your home. Now think about what that's doing to your oral and gut microbiome. And when you try to do the right thing, brushing, flossing, using mouthwash, it turns out that may be making things worse. Most commercial mouthwash kills not only bad bacteria, but the good bacteria too. Sure, your breath might feel fresh temporarily, but a 2020 study found that people who regularly use certain mouthwashes develop higher acidity in the mouth, leading to more cavities, gum inflammation, and ironically, bad breath. And here's something most people don't know. Most toothpaste is detergent-based. Common ingredients like sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosan, just like alcohol in mouthwash, kill off the good bacteria your mouth needs to stay healthy. And it doesn't stop there. Many brands also include plastic microbeads, supposedly to scrub your teeth. But instead, they can erode enamel and introduce microplastics into your bloodstream. In fact, recent studies show that brushing and flossing alone can expose you to microplastics, which have been linked to a wide range of health problems. Now, I'm not saying you should stop brushing and flossing, but at the very least, you need to switch to an all-natural toothpaste and a high-quality toothbrush if you want to avoid doing more harm than good. And that's when I finally decided to look into why fluoride was ever added to our water in the first place. Was it really to help prevent cavities, or was there something else going on? After all, countries like Denmark have the healthiest teeth in the world, and they do not use fluoride. Even Nigeria has healthier, whiter teeth than Americans. So I spent days tracing it back, digging through old reports, declassified documents, and government archives. And what I uncovered completely changed the way I see everything we were taught in dentistry. Because the truth is, the real reason fluoride was added to our water has nothing to do with health, and everything to do with industry, profit, and waste. You see, after World War II, aluminum and fertilizer manufacturing industries faced mounting lawsuits due to fluoride pollution harming crops and livestock. To stop all the lawsuits they had against them, they sought a way to repurpose fluoride waste profitably. You see, disposing of fluoride was very expensive and would really hurt the profits of these industries. So they came up with a plan. They hired someone with a lot of connections within the government, Harold Hodge, a toxicologist who's famous for working on the Manhattan Project, which, if you're not familiar with, was the secret project to develop the atomic bomb during World War II. He started campaigning that fluoride was good for teeth. Then they brought in another guy named Edward Bernays, the same PR mastermind who convinced women smoking was good for them, to help cigarette companies get more women customers. Next, they brought in the dental industry. Now they had a way to dispose of their toxic waste without paying for it, convincing the public it was a health additive, and the dental industry would have a steady stream of patients for years to come. This is all talked about in the declassified memos, court documents, and even by the US Atomic Energy Commission. I couldn't believe it. It was all right there, hidden in plain sight, buried in court documents and declassified memos. This was never about protecting public health. It was about protecting profits. I was furious, not just at the system, at myself. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about every dentist, every person, every professor I had reassured. I'd meant well, but I'd been wrong, and I knew right then I had to make it right. A few weeks later, I attended the same dental conference I'd been going to for over a decade. It was the usual scene: corporate sponsors handing out free samples, lectures on new billing software, and pharmaceutical reps talking about the latest advancements in oral care. But this year felt different. I wasn't there to network. I was there for answers. I brought up what I'd discovered, quietly at first, with a few colleagues I trusted. At first, they laughed it off. Then one of them, a dentist I'd known for years, looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "Dan, even if you're right, what are dentists going to do if patients stop having problems? You don't pay the bills by handing out high fives and free toothpaste." The others chuckled. I didn't. I just stared at him. That one sentence said it all. They weren't interested in fixing the problem. They were interested in preserving the business model. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about science anymore. This was about greed. And I knew I couldn't be part of it any longer. But I must have ruffled some feathers at that conference, because just a few days after I got back to my office, the backlash started. First, there was a bunch of negative reviews posted online, anonymous of course, which was odd considering my practice had nearly perfect reviews my entire career. Then came the emails, threatening, anonymous. Some hinted that I should keep my mouth shut if I know what's good for me. Others were more direct, saying I was undermining the profession and risking everything. And then the letters started showing up at my office. No return address, no signature, just threats, warnings, and subtle reminders that I was being watched. It was clear someone didn't like what I was digging into. That's when I knew I was onto something real. Because the truth doesn't get attacked unless it threatens someone's power or their profits. I thought about quitting. Retirement was sounding awfully good right about now after realizing I had been duped all of these years. But I couldn't shake the image my mind conjured up of Samantha crying in Dr. Smith's chair. That night I couldn't sleep. My mind kept spinning, not with fear from the threats, but with questions. What if there was a way to actually undo the damage, to help people safely flush fluoride from their system and finally restore their teeth and gums from the inside out? Then I remembered something. Steve, the guy who questioned everything, the guy who drove his dentist crazy each visit, but also the guy who ignored everything he said, but somehow had the healthiest teeth and gums I'd ever seen. I remembered his dentist talking about the herbal supplements he used, some of which he even made himself, and that's when it hit me. What if he could help me create something? I asked Dr. Smith if he'd be willing to meet with me, and he agreed. The next morning, I called him. I told him about all the research I'd uncovered, how fluoride wasn't what I thought it was, and how I'm now being targeted by people trying to ruin my reputation and destroy my practice just for speaking the truth. For once, he wasn't smug or sarcastic. He was calm, understanding, and when I told him I had an idea, something big, he didn't hesitate. "Let's talk," he said. So we met for lunch. Over lunch, I told Steve everything. My idea was simple in theory, but daunting in execution. Create a natural supplement that could help detox fluoride from the body, restore the oral and gut microbiomes, and rebuild damaged teeth and gums from the inside out. Steve was intrigued. As it turned out, he had connections, trusted suppliers from years of sourcing his own herbal formulas. Even a college buddy who now owned an FDA-certified lab that could help manufacture it. But even with that head start, we knew it wouldn't be easy. Thanks to tightening global trade laws and tariffs, sourcing certain clinical-grade ingredients was going to be a nightmare. and I wasn't willing to cut corners, not on purity, not on quality, not on results. Then there was the issue of the good bacteria, or probiotics as we like to call them. I explained to Steve, most probiotics on the market are designed for the gut, not the mouth. And even if we found strains that could help the teeth and gums, there was another challenge: compatibility. Too many strains or the wrong combinations and the bacteria start fighting each other, turning your mouth into a microbial war zone. And worst of all, over 90% of probiotic strains die before they even reach your mouth. They're killed off by stomach acid long before they have a chance to do anything useful for your gums or teeth. That was my biggest concern. Even if we managed to find the right strains, even if we sourced the best detox agents, minerals, and tissue repair compounds, if the delivery method was wrong, it would all be for nothing. I could see the doubt in Steve's face, and honestly, I felt it too. We sat in silence for a few seconds, just staring at our empty plates. That's when I noticed Steve pull a small candy mint from his pocket and pop it in his mouth. And suddenly it hit me. What if we could deliver everything, the probiotics, the detox agents, the restoratives, in a soft chew that melts directly in your mouth, bypassing the gut and going straight to the source? You're a genius, Steve, I said. His face lit up. I am? I mean, you're just realizing that now? He laughed. He loved the soft chew idea, and now there was just one thing left to do: get to work creating it. It was going to be incredibly difficult to find the right combination of ingredients that would actually work, and to be honest, I wasn't sure we'd be able to do it. But I began spending every spare moment I had researching probiotics, bouncing ideas off of Steve, and speaking to microbiologists. There are over 1,000 strains of good bacteria, and we tested hundreds of combinations, but each time something didn't click. Either the strains weren't compatible or they didn't survive long enough to make a difference. And that was only part of the problem. We had to include other ingredients to help restore the teeth, the gums, and also to detoxify the fluoride out of the body. And then there was the issue of getting the ingredients to be stable in the form of a soft chew that melts in your mouth. Plus, make it taste good. Not an easy task, and not something they teach you in your dental training. After nearly 6 months of trial and error, late nights, failed formulas, and more setbacks than I can count, we were both exhausted. We'd come close a few times, but something was always off. Either the chew wouldn't hold its structure, or the probiotic strains would die off, or the taste was unbearable. But just when we were on the verge of giving up, everything finally clicked. We'd found the perfect combination, a formula that was stable, had the perfect combination of ingredients, and actually tasted good. Steve looked up from his notes, eyes wide with cautious excitement. He leaned back in his chair and asked with a grin, "We're going to turn the dental world upside down with this. What do you want to call it?" And then, almost like a spark from above, the word just came to me: Dentalin. It's short, easy to remember, and sounds clean, Steve said, nodding. I love it. And here's exactly how the formula works. Step 1, eliminate toxins from your body. The first step to restoring your gums, rebuilding damaged teeth, rebalancing your oral microbiome, and eliminating bad breath is to get rid of the hidden toxins that are silently destroying the good bacteria in your mouth and gut. Compounds like fluoride, heavy metals, synthetic chemicals, and other toxins found in the environment and many oral care products can weaken your natural defenses. This dramatically reduces the good bacteria in your mouth and gut, making it nearly impossible for your gums and teeth to heal. The first ingredient we chose is a clinical grade form of iodine known as potassium iodide. So potent it's used by the US military special forces to defend the body from radiation exposure. This level of military grade iodide is not easy to come by without the right connections. We nicknamed it the Detox Commander because of its military-like might. Its ferocity targets and breaks apart toxic halogens like fluoride and chlorine at the cellular level, freeing them from tissue so your body can flush them out naturally when you urinate. Plus, it acts like a natural antimicrobial shield, gently reducing the harmful bacteria hiding in gum pockets without disturbing the beneficial microbes your body needs to rebuild and heal. Next up is an ingredient we nicknamed the Toxin Magnet. Why? Because clinoptilolite zeolite is a rare, natural, volcanic mineral with a honeycomb-like structure that works like a microscopic magnet for toxins. Its negatively charged crystalline cage attracts and binds positively charged toxins, including fluoride, lead, mercury, and even radioactive particles, trapping them safely in the zeolite until your body eliminates them through the digestive tract. Unlike many detox agents that can strip your body of essential minerals, zeolite is selective. It only targets harmful substances, leaving beneficial nutrients untouched. And while potassium iodide targets mainly the bad halogens like fluoride, zeolite targets all toxins. It's like giving your body a built-in purification system right where healing needs to happen most. Step 2. Restoring your oral and gut microbiome. Now that the fluoride and other toxic compounds have been cleared from your system, the various substances that have been poisoning your body and silently destroying your teeth and gums, we can begin the next phase, restoration. We focus on rebuilding the delicate ecosystem of beneficial bacteria in both your mouth and your gut, laying the foundation for stronger immunity, fresher breath, healthier digestion, and a natural defense against future decay. We're setting the stage to begin the repair process of your gum and teeth. After studying and testing approximately 500 different probiotic strains to ensure they'd work properly in our formula, we narrowed it down to the best 3. The first one is a powerhouse good bacteria strain known as Lactobacillus paracasei, which we've nicknamed the Plaque Eraser. This beneficial strain plays a critical role in defending your mouth and gut from one of the most destructive bacteria known to modern dentistry, Streptococcus mutans. This harmful microbe thrives in toxic environments caused by fluoride and other chemicals, and it's notorious for converting sugar into acid, which eats away at your enamel and causes tooth decay. By eliminating this harmful bacteria, you prevent the acid buildup that leads to decay, while helping create a healthier, more balanced environment in your mouth and gut. Multiple studies have shown that it significantly improves allergic rhinitis, which is the inflammation of the nasal passageway that causes sneezing, eyes to water, itchy throats, runny noses. But that's not all. It also helps prevent surface staining of your teeth, which results in a noticeably brighter smile. It's no wonder some researchers have said that taking this powerful probiotic by itself would be more effective than brushing your teeth and avoiding sugar. Next, we added one of the most powerful probiotic strains known to man, L-reuteri, which we call the gum soother. When your oral microbiome is out of balance, harmful bacteria can invade your gum tissue, causing inflammation, tenderness, bleeding, and over time, serious structural damage. As the infection worsens, the pockets between your teeth and gums begin to deepen, weakening the support structure of your teeth until they loosen, or worse, fall out. L-reuteri stops that chain reaction dead in its tracks. It acts as a natural antimicrobial, targeting the harmful bacteria attacking your gums while soothing inflammation and accelerating tissue repair at the source. This results in significantly reduced gum bleeding, repaired gum pocket death, and gum reattachment, even in people with advanced periodontal problems. Scientists from the Sao Paulo State University also found that L-reuteri inhibits the reproduction of harmful bacteria in your mouth and gut by up to 86%, which allows the good bacteria to begin to thrive again. And that's why many scientists refer to it as the holy grail of oral probiotics. Amazing, right? And last but not least, we included S. salivarius, which we dubbed the breath freshener. You see, contrary to what some scientists say, bad breath does not start in your stomach. It starts in your mouth microbiome. The good bacteria lives on your tongue when your oral and gut microbiome is functioning correctly. S. salivarius has the incredible ability to produce natural enzymes that destroy odor-causing compounds and bad bacteria. Think of it like a built-in air purifier for your mouth that works 24/7. It also forms a protective layer over your teeth and gums, keeping harmful invaders out and freshness locked in. Step 3. Rebuilding your teeth and gums now that your body is detoxed and your oral microbiome is rebalanced. It's time to begin the final and most rewarding phase, rebuilding your teeth and gums. This is where powerful restorative ingredients go to work, strengthening enamel, tightening gum tissue, repairing damaged teeth, and promoting true healing from the inside out. The first ingredient we chose is pyridoxal 5-phosphate, P5P, or as we like to call it, the gum builder. It's the active medical grade variation of vitamin B6, not to be confused with the cheap substitutes found in vitamins or other supplements. It has a special quality that allows your body to rapidly absorb the entire nutrient in its activated form, whereas other types of B6 are either mostly excreted through your urinary tract or never activated in your body at all. It works by promoting collagen growth and stimulates your gum tissue to begin repairing itself, and also reduces inflammation around your gum tissue. In fact, a 2024 study published in BMC Oral Health found that individuals with higher levels of P5P were significantly less likely to ever develop gum disease, even in people with type 2 diabetes who are typically at greater risk for periodontitis. Next, we added calcium ascorbate, or as we like to call it, the tooth mason. This is a medical grade buffered form of vitamin C that delivers all the healing power without the acidity that can wear down your enamel. That means it's gentle on your teeth, yet incredibly effective at supporting deep tissue repair. Just like P5P, it helps stimulate collagen production, the critical protein your body uses to regenerate gum tissue, tighten tooth attachment, and reinforce the connective matrix that holds each tooth securely in place. In other words, it's the building material your body needs to repair what's been lost and protect what's still there. This miraculous ingredient also contains a unique form of bioavailable calcium that will assist with enamel remineralization, fill in microscopic cracks in your teeth, and reverse early signs of tooth decay. We call it the tooth mason for a reason. It delivers the raw material your body needs to rebuild your smile brick by brick, tooth by tooth. After each ingredient was carefully tested and analyzed at an FDA-approved lab, it was time to try it out. But there was a problem. Steve was one of the few blessed people who had perfect teeth. And while my teeth weren't as perfect as Steve's, my teeth were still in good shape. Then Samantha popped into my head. I got a hold of her and told her the entire story and asked if she'd be interested in taking this experimental, new restorative dental chew that we created. Before I could even finish my sentence, she had already said yes. She picked up the first supply that same afternoon. Then she began taking Dentalin, one soft chew a day. At first, she didn't really notice anything and started questioning if it was even going to work. But after a few days, she started to notice a few minor things. The bleeding started to ease. Her breath was fresher. The soreness in her gums began to fade. By the end of the second week, something incredible happened. Her gum pockets had started to shrink. Tissue that had once been red, swollen, and receding was now pink, firm, and reattaching to the teeth. Her cavities stopped progressing, and new ones, they never formed. We took new scans and saw early signs of enamel remineralization. Those tiny white spots that used to mean decay were now healing. Her teeth were visibly whiter, smoother, stronger, and the best part? She told me, I don't wake up with that metallic taste in my mouth anymore. It's like my entire mouth feels clean all day. But Dentalin didn't just change her smile, it changed her life. Within the first month, she said her brain fog had completely lifted. She had more energy, better focus, her sinuses were clear, and she finally was sleeping through the night again. Her blood pressure dropped, her mood improved, and she even started to lose weight without changing anything else in her routine. Her body had started flushing out the toxins that were holding her back for years. It was like watching someone get their life back right before my eyes. She was so happy the next time I saw her that she was crying. But this time it was with tears of joy. And in that moment, I knew we had something real. And I couldn't be more proud to introduce you to Dentalin, the first and only all-natural, delicious-tasting dental soft chew designed to get to the root cause of your gum disease, cavities, tooth decay, and bad breath. Using Dentalin couldn't be easier. Simply take one soft chew once per day and let it melt in your mouth until it dissolves. It tastes great also, like a raspberry mint candy, but this is no candy. It has the power to completely restore your oral health. This powerful formula helps detox your body from fluoride and other hidden toxins. You'll start to feel those effects during the first week of taking Dentalin. You may notice a subtle shift, more focus, more energy as the toxins begin to flush from your system. During the second week is when the magic really starts to happen. The harmful bacteria in your mouth and gut are starting to be eliminated by now, and Dentalin starts to feed your system with the good bacteria it desperately needs to thrive, completely restoring your gut and oral microbiome. This is when you'll start to see some physical changes. Bad breath becomes less noticeable, gum swelling begins to calm, and bleeding becomes less frequent. And then, shortly after that, the foundation is set and the real transformation begins. The rest of the formula kicks in to rebuild and tighten your gums, restore and remineralize your teeth, and eliminate bad breath at the source, while giving your smile a visibly whiter, cleaner look you can feel confident about. Dentalin is also proudly made right here in the US in an FDA-registered, GMP-certified lab, using only the purest, highest quality foreign and domestic ingredients. Unlike other cheap supplements, which are often imported from China with little to no quality controls. Dentalin is non-GMO, gluten-free, stimulant-free, and safe for daily use. After Samantha started telling her story on social media, suddenly I had hundreds of curious people asking to try Dentalin, which is why we finally decided to tell our story and create this website so we can offer it to everyone. Dentalin's popularity grew and grew, with testimonials and success stories coming in on a daily basis from satisfied customers. Now, you're probably wondering how you can try Dentalin for yourself. First, please note, Dentalin is only available on this website. It's not sold in stores or elsewhere online, and if you do see it elsewhere, it's likely a cheap knockoff with the wrong formulation. We chose to keep operations small to maintain quality and keep costs low, without expanding to a large warehouse or retail distributor. So let me ask you, what would it be worth to finally leave your dental problems behind for good? No more metallic, bloody taste in your mouth, no more worrying your loose teeth might fall out in your sleep, no more bad breath that makes people pull away, no more tooth sensitivity that makes eating miserable. And best of all, no more painful, expensive dental procedures that put you at risk of infection. What would that be worth to you if you were practically guaranteed that it would work for you with no risk at all? $300? $500? Maybe even $2,000? Most people would gladly pay that. But I'm not in this for the money. I never have been. Otherwise, I'd be like those other greedy dentists at the conference and never speak a word about the solution to anyone. I genuinely want to help people. And that means keeping the cost affordable for everyone. For people like Samantha who are struggling, Dentalin is a one-of-a-kind dental supplement that you won't find anywhere else. And I personally spent months of my life and tens of thousands of dollars of my own money creating this just to help people. But we're not going to ask for $300 as a manufacturer suggested. We're not going to ask for $200 or even $100. Literally, for what it costs to buy a new t-shirt or a pair of pants, you could start rebuilding your teeth and gums and get a healthy, confident smile. Not to mention, think how much you'll save in dental bills over the years. If we have any left in stock at the time you're seeing this video, we're going to let it go for a little more than what it cost us to produce it, at the price you see below. And if you buy 3 or more bottles of Dentalin today, we've got a surprise for you. First of all, we're going to rush deliver Dentalin to you, and you won't pay a penny for shipping. That's right, free shipping. Plus, we have 2 incredible bonuses to give you as a gift for taking action and watching this video all the way through. Free bonus number 1, Hollywood Smile Secrets. Want a whiter, brighter smile without painful whitening strips, harsh chemicals, or overpriced dental work? Inside this celebrity-backed guide, you'll discover the exact natural methods stars use to get that clean, camera-ready smile using simple ingredients you probably already have at home. It's called Hollywood Smile Secrets, and it reveals the fruit enzyme formula that lifts years of stains in just 3 days. No bleach, no sensitivity. A 10-second baking soda swish that brightens enamel and freshens breath instantly. The shocking whitening products most people use that actually make yellowing worse. A red carpet rinse used by A-list actors minutes before stepping on stage to tighten gums and leave a luminous glow. and the #1 morning habit that keeps your smile whiter all day without a single extra product. These are the smile secrets the dental industry hopes you never find out about, and Hollywood celebrities use on a routine basis. These methods really work and can be done from the comfort of your own home without expensive trips to the dentist. Valued at $69, it's yours free when you order 3 or more bottles of Dentalin today. Free bonus number 2, the Biome Blacklist. Your second free bonus is a digital guide that could save you years of pain, bloating, brain fog, and oral health issues simply by helping you avoid the hidden enemies of your microbiome. It's called the Biome Blacklist. Inside, you'll discover the top 12 everyday foods that silently erode your gut lining and destroy beneficial bacteria. The one healthy sweetener that's secretly feeding harmful microbes in your mouth. Common ingredients besides fluoride in toothpaste, mouthwash, and even bottled water that can devastate your oral flora. A quick reference swap list of microbiome-friendly alternatives for snacks, condiments, and drinks. And the daily habits, even the healthy ones, that could be undoing all your progress without you realizing it. This guide is packed with science-backed insights, yet written in a simple, actionable format you can use immediately. It's the perfect complement to your supplement and a powerful tool for anyone serious about long-term gut and dental health. Valued at $59, it's yours free when you order 3 or more bottles of Dentalin today. Now, if you're wondering how many bottles to order, I strongly recommend choosing the 6-bottle option. And here's why. Dentalin starts working from day 1, but full restoration takes time. You're healing years, sometimes decades of damage to your gums, teeth, and microbiome. And while I wish I could offer you overnight results, the next best thing is consistency. Dentalin works, but only if you keep taking it. Imagine if you were building a house, and in order to try and save some money, you decided not to put shingles on the roof, hoping the rain won't be much of a problem. But without shingles, eventually the rain is going to seep through the wood into your house and start rotting it away from the inside. And all of your hard work gets washed away, leaving you right back where you started. The same goes for your mouth. You don't want to partially rebuild it, you want to fully restore your oral health. Ordering 6 bottles gives your body the time it needs to rebuild without interruption. Not to mention, it gives you the deepest discount we can offer and guarantees you won't run out for months to come. Because here's the truth. These ingredients are rare, hard to source, and getting more expensive. With inflation and global supply issues, I can't guarantee this low price will last. And to be completely transparent, we've already received multiple threats from people in the dental industry trying to shut us down and keep Dentalin off the market. Why? Because it works, and that scares them. So if Dentalin is still in stock below this video, I highly recommend stocking up while you still can. Remember, if you order 3 or 6 bottles, you're going to get free shipping plus 2 incredible bonuses valued at $76. And if you needed one more reason to stock up now, know this. With every bottle of Dentalin sold, a portion of the proceeds goes directly to a charity that provides clean drinking water to children in need. Because good dental health starts with clean water, and every purchase helps bring that gift to someone who needs it most. And I know, you still may have some concerns. You still may be wondering, what if this doesn't work for me? I get it. After all, you've probably already tried several things that didn't help. But Dentalin is nothing like anything you've ever tried before, which is why I can make you this guarantee. I'm so confident that this will work for you that we're offering a 365-day, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. So you're either absolutely thrilled with the results, your gums feel firmer, your teeth look and feel stronger, your breath is fresher, or we insist on refunding every penny. If it works for you like it has for so many others, the only risk you could take would be not trying Dentalin out for yourself. Simply choose how many bottles you'd like and click the Add to Cart button below. You'll be taken to our 256-bit encrypted secure checkout page to enter your information and payment details. Once submitted, we'll process your order within 24 hours and rush your shipment to you safely, discreetly, and with full tracking. We'll keep you updated every step of the way. Your privacy is our top priority. We'll never share your information with anyone. period. And to make sure you feel fully supported, I'll even give you my personal email so you can reach out with any questions or concerns at any time. So you're at a crossroads with your dental future and possibly even your life. You could continue down the path that you're on now and just ignore your dental issues, hoping they'll improve on their own. But I can tell you, I've never seen this happen out of the thousands of people I've treated. The painful swollen gums, the yellow unhealthy teeth that you're embarrassed to show off in public or in pictures, the persistent bad breath that drives away your loved ones and everyone else around you, and even worse, the compromised bone structure that is weakening by each passing day to the point where your jaw will no longer be able to support your teeth or support dental implants. These problems will only continue to get worse and can, and oftentimes do, lead to serious health problems. Bacteria from your infected gums can enter the bloodstream, inflaming your blood vessels, which contributes to arterial plaque, or even your heart itself. It can also increase your risk of developing diabetes or having a stroke. The bacteria from your compromised gums and teeth could infect your brain directly. Studies have linked gum disease and teeth problems to Alzheimer's disease. But maybe worst of all, once this bacteria gets in your brain, it can cause inflammation, causing your brain to swell. That's what happened to my dad, causing him to fall into a coma and ultimately cost him his life. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's another choice you can make right here, right now, while Dentalin is still available. Or you could get off the path of destruction you're on and try Dentalin absolutely risk-free. Just picture this. You wake up one morning and for the first time in years, your mouth feels clean. No more dry, sour taste, no bleeding when you brush, no more avoiding the mirror. You run your tongue over your teeth and instead of rough, gritty enamel, they feel smooth, strong, and solid. You smile at yourself and it's not forced, it's not hidden, it's real. Because your teeth are whiter, your gums are healthy, and your confidence is coming back stronger than ever. You head into your day, no bad breath to worry about, no more flinching from cold drinks or chewing on one side of your mouth. You eat what you want and laugh freely. And the people around you notice not just your smile, but your energy. You're thinking more clearly, sleeping more deeply. You're no longer dragging through the day in a fog because the toxins are gone, your body is healing. And it's all because you gave your mouth, the true gateway to your health, a second chance. This is what Dentalin can do for you. And it's already helped tons of other people just like you. And you could be the next success story. But none of it can happen unless you take the first step. So make the right decision, because I truly do not want you to hate yourself later for missing out on what could be your one and only chance to experience how Dentalin can change your life. Click the Add to Cart button below and get ready to be amazed by your new, bright, healthy smile.